Hi folks, Joey Ricard with TracksideScenery.com. Welcome back. In the last video I showed you how I prepared the real dirt for use in model railroad scenery applications. Today in part 2 I'm going to show you just how I apply this real dirt to a model railroad display. The example you see in this video is a section of a larger display that I'm building for a client. It's a display for cranes and trains, which is owned by a private collector that has an interest in specialty O-scale cars and construction die-cast. He was kind enough to allow me to use it for the video while I'm working to finish it up. Okay, let's get started with our supply list. Dirt, that's done. Number 2, dirt colored paint for a base coat. I go to Lowe's or Home Depot and I pick out a cheap dirt colored flat latex paint. You'll need some white glue. I get the large gallon size. Hairspray, the cheap stuff. I'll explain that in a few minutes. Last but not least, you'll need some coarse sandpaper or a wire brush for scuffing. I do everything in layers, which in turn become steps in the process. First step is to cover everything with a thick coat of flat dirt-colored latex paint like you see here. I do this as an extra step to the glue mixture because sometimes with the thick glue, you can't get right up next to the track or other elements like you can with the paint. Also, if the glue or dirt doesn't hold to a particular spot, it'll be less noticeable. Now, as you can see, we have the section covered completely with a coat of latex paint, and I let it dry for about 24 hours. The next step is similar to the first step. This time we're going to add the white glue. I use a mixture of about half and half, and I mix it up real good. Don't be afraid to put a nice heavy coat of glue mixture on there. This is what has to hold the dirt down, and you're going to see what I'm talking about in a minute. Actually, you're probably going to think I'm crazy when you see it, but I can assure you there's a method to my madness. With everything covered in a nice thick coat of glue paint mixture, we're going to move on to the next step, which is the dirt application. I didn't mention the sifter. You don't have to have it. I just happen to have it, and we're going to use that. Now, this is the part of the video where I look like a famous chef making some kind of meal, but I wouldn't want to eat this. As you can see, I'm applying a very heavy coat of dirt, and there's a reason for this. A lot of it's going to come off in the scuffing step, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, step 4 is the hairspray step. What we're doing is we're using the cheapest hairspray we can find, and we're totally saturating the top of the dirt. The dirt's going to get a darker color, but it'll lighten up once you scuff it back off. You need this. It hardens the dirt a little bit, but you're going to have to let it dry for 24 hours. In this next step, you'll need your coarse sandpaper or a wire brush. You're going to start scuffing. You're going to try to get some of the dirt off and make it smoother. This step is so easy that even a monkey could do it. No, monkey. I didn't say Mugsy, I said monkey. Uh-oh, I think I might have hurt his feelings. Okay, you might have to repeat steps 5 and 6 a couple of times till you get the surface you're looking for. In most cases, it's going to depend on what you're using for ground cover in addition to the dirt, whether it's weeds or foliage or something like that. Now, if you had reservations or fears about using real dirt as ground cover, I hope this gave you a better idea of what it's all about. It's a fun project to do, especially if you have kids. I know sometimes it's easier to run out and pick something up from the store, but to be honest, you're not going to find anything more realistic than dirt. You know why? It's dirt.
Did he say dirt?
I did keep the camera rolling while I planted the weeds. Make sure you tell your wife to come down and watch that. She'll love it. This is Joey Ricard, TracksideScenery.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time.